What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another quick little overview for you of a pretty cool little knife. This one was sent to me by way of the pass around group from Lefty EDC, so thanks for that. Appreciate that, Lefty. A lot of people get to experience a lot of cool knives that they wouldn't otherwise get to experience thanks to some of the pass around groups, so definitely helps out a lot. And thanks to everyone that sends me knives so I can kind of keep making semi-regular content, try to put out a video a day. If you like my content, hit the like button right down there. Subscribe if you want more of it. Definitely helps if you subscribe and like it. Helps algorithms and all that stuff. Kind of validates my little project, what I'm doing here with the channel and everything. Appreciate all my channel members, Patreons, subscribers. You guys are awesome. Do live streams Saturday mornings at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Usually try to make every Saturday morning. Sometimes got to miss every now and then for work or family stuff or whatever, but do try to make that a regular thing if you'd like to join. And without further ado, let's get into it. This one is the Berg Blades Tick. Pretty neat little knife. Well, not really little. Full size, I guess you could say. S90V right there on the blade steel. Titanium on the handle with a marbled carbon fiber inlay there. So we'll go ahead and do normal size specs, all that good stuff. Get all that out of the way here first. So from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle, you are looking right at 8 inches, maybe a hair over 8 inches for overall length on this one. Blade length, if you go all the way back to where the blade meets up in that kind of choil area with the handle right there, you're looking at 3 3/4. If you are just counting the cutting edge, you are looking roughly, let's see here, right about 3 3/8 on the cutting edge. Double check that one more time. Yeah, right about 3 3/8. So, what I would say is right there at the definition of a full-size pocket knife, right? My definition anyway on this channel. Everybody's, of course, got their own definition of what they would think a full-size knife is, and that's okay. 156 thousandths, thickest part of the spine, and measuring, let's see, we'll measure right here behind the edge, goes down to about 18.5 thousandths, and the handle thickness right over 1/2 inch, about 510 thousandths. So kind of a chunky, not really super chunky or anything. I don't know, might bordering on average, you know, just kind of a beefy looking little knife. That blade shape kind of makes it seem a little more aggressive than what it is, and I really like that. Pretty cool looking blade shape on this one. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. That is the Ontario Knives Rat Model 1, and there is your Rat Model 2. So definitely closer to the Rat Model 1. Do a couple more here. The usual suspects. You got your Cold Steel Knives 8010, Demco Knives 80-20.5. That is the slicer variant of the 20.5. And 2 more of the usual size comparisons here. We got the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, Spyderco Para 3. Alright, so closer and overall length right at the same, almost overall length as a Paramilitary 2. And thickness comparison, pretty close there. Put up the Paramilitary 2. Let's see, 2 more. Let's do 2 more random ones. That is a Kizer Mini Paragon. And here is your Kizer Mini Roach. Couple of Kizers there to compare it with. I don't have any other Berg blades. I wish I did. They've got the Sweeney. I've reviewed that one before. They've got the Slim, the Alpha, quite a few other ones. This is actually a, as many knives are, this is a production based on a custom. Before this one came out in the production world, you couldn't get your hands on the custom without paying a heck of a price. So pretty cool. They are OEM'd by Riot, I believe. I think it's Riot. Correct me if I'm wrong. And very well could be, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. There's your DeWalt frame and hammer and your 8-inch USA made crescent wrench. Almost comes out of view there, but yeah, standard size comparisons for any knife channel, I think, right? Put those back. Let me get the scale out here. Now this thing, I don't know how much it weighs. I've never weighed it, and I'm guessing it is milled out. Let's see, let me get my handy dandy flashlight here, courtesy of the Ponds. Got a little bit of milling in there for weight reduction, especially on that side, right? carbon fiber inlay. Probably doesn't take up very much weight. So I don't know, I'm gonna guess, I'd say probably about, turn the scale on would probably help. I don't know, 4.2 ounces, 4.8 ounces. All right, so I'm a little a little bit off, but 4.8, 4.9, right around 4.8 ounces. So definitely over the ounce and inch ratio, but not super heavy as compared to a lot of other titanium frame lock knives. Go ahead and put in the old blue jeans here, see what she looks like. A little bit of a snail trail there on the clip, it looks like. Yeah, pretty good. Nice milled titanium pocket clip. I like that. Screws on the inside. Not milled out for lefty, unfortunately. Or not drilled out for lefty, but it does ride pretty nice in the pants, in the jorts, in the shorts, whatever you're wearing. Rides pretty nice in pocket. Pretty smooth, I would say. So let's go ahead and do the last part of the specs. Where is my, there it is. All right, I got a T8 already on here. I'm thinking, yeah, it's T8. That was a little loose. I'll tighten it up a little bit. T8 on the body screws, right? Yeah, a little loose on that one too. And T8 on the pivot. And T8 on the inset, on the liner there, on the lock. Sorry, I'm all over the place today, but on that kind of a over travel stop, I guess you could call it that, on the lock, you know, keeps you from pushing that frame lock out too much. So T8 all the way around, good job on the hardware, really good deal on that. Ergonomically, this thing feels pretty solid. The corners are pretty well rounded. Choke back feels pretty nice. Choked up feels good too. Got that kind of a low swoop there on the finger choil. Got a little bit of jimping right there. If you're choked, especially if you're choked back behind the flipper, your thumb kind of lands right there, perfect, good and locked in for some good cutting. You can get up close and personal like that and still feel pretty secure there. So that's good. I really like that blade shape, and I like that fuller too. That's pretty cool. Got a thing for knives that have that kind of fuller close to the spine like that, that kind of swoop or go down towards the end and kind of meet up with the spine. That's pretty neat. Very similar looking knife to the Alpha. The Alpha, Berg Blades Alpha being the newer one of the two. I've not got to experience that one yet, but hopefully I will sometime in the not too distant future. S90V on the blade steel. S90V is extraordinarily edge retentive and fairly corrosive resistant, so pretty good steel there, I think. One of my favorite steels I've experienced. Beautiful marbled carbon fiber inlay. Looks really nice. Nice little pivot collar right there. Kind of contrasts that silver with that dark on the carbon fiber. Really cool. Minimal billboard in there, a little Berg Blades logo right there, and you got S90V right there on that side. And inside of the back spacer, I'm gonna get my flashlight out again. That is the number 27 to 30. So Berg Blades doesn't do huge runs of these. These are actually sold out right now. I mean, you could probably find one of these on the secondary, I would think, without too much trouble. But whenever they originally came out, they were $325. I think for this variant, yeah, around 325 bucks. Not a bad price at all. I don't know if they'll do more runs of these. They might do a version 2, but the runs that are currently available are sold out, so I guess they're not currently available. Their last drop sold out anyway. So yeah, pretty solid knife, and I would probably am going to end up putting this on my most recommended knives playlist. Really good action. It is running on bearings, kind of a shake shutter right there. Really smooth. The flipper tab works great with that jimping right there. No issues at all with that flipper tab. Reverse flick on that fuller area, that's awesome. Really like that. If only one complaint, that if I had to find a complaint about this knife, and personally for me it's not really that big of an issue because I'm not left-handed. It doesn't have a spot, you know, to move that clip if you're left-handed, but that's about it. Really nice back spacer there, pretty neat. I got that little V on the end of it. Yeah, these were available with several different combinations of fit and finish. I think they had a micarta, plain Jane titanium, this one, and maybe one or two more. But yeah, Berg Blades Tick, pretty awesome knife. I would definitely highly recommend this one. It feels pretty solid, feels like a good user, and I know if this was mine, if it didn't belong to Lefty in the pass around group, I would probably be using the heck out of this thing. But this is a pretty solid little knife. So yeah, Berg blade stick. Appreciate everyone watching. Thank you guys so much for watching my content, listening to my rambling reviews, and stay tuned because there will definitely be more of them coming. Hopefully, right? Until next time, stay sharp.